Alabama has been targeted by massive data centers and solar farms. They can ruin your community, consume water, and drive your electric bills up. No one in Montgomery is overseeing this. I'm Jim Zeigler, and I will serve as your watchman on the Public Service Commission. Vote for me for PSC May 19th.
We're joined this morning by Jim Zeigler, your watchman. Jim, good morning to you, sir.
Well, great morning indeed in my hometown of
That's
Sylacauga.
right. You had a big crowd last night here in Sylacauga.
We did. We were at what I call the Sylacauga Hospital. That's not the name of it. That shows how far back I go. We had the Republican women of South Talladega County, and we had a room full in the Hickory Street Cafe, and just wonderful meeting.
Now, you've been in the political arena for a long time, as a mayor and state offices, and some people say, well, Jim, why don't you just pack it in? What would you say to that?
Well, I have. I've retired 3 times, Jimmy Dale, and obviously I'm not good at it. I just can't stay retired. But this time, a number of people asked me to run for this Public Service Commission. We got a problem.
What is this? Explain Public Service Commission.
It has up until now been a 3-member commission, and it controls your power bills and the natural gas private utilities. It has some influence over the railroads and some of the transportation, such as Uber, and it needs somebody who will be a voice for the people, a watchman for the people. And so I decided to go for it. Both of the incumbents who basically created the situation as it is, they're up for re-election, and they're both being challenged. And I'm the challenger for place 2 PSC.
You have been a challenger before, hadn't you?
I have. Sometimes successful and sometimes not. That's part of it. But I was blessed to be elected twice as the state auditor, and I served as a watchman for the taxpaying public and was able to do some good in that position. I'll take the same watchman approach on the Public Service Commission.
Explain watchman. What do you mean by that?
A lot of times, the Montgomery politicians don't let the public know what's coming
they
up.
don't like you.
No, they don't. They certainly don't. And I wear that as a badge of honor. And I think the people like it that I'll question what's going. Can you imagine asking questions and letting the public know what's going on? And that's this is biblical. Go set a watchman is straight out of the Old Testament. And in fact, Alabama author, perhaps our finest author, Harper Lee of To Kill a Mockingbird, her one and only sequel to that, she named it Go Set a Watchman. And that is the theme of my campaign. I wish more of our politicians would take a scripture verse as their theme.
You know, Jim, a lot of people watching across state Alabama today would say to you, we're stifled with taxes. I mean, it's just more than we can handle.
Well, it is. Affordability is a tough thing right now, particularly those on fixed incomes. Retirees, those that are able to stay retired, some of them have to take a side job because of the cost of groceries and power and gasoline. And we need to come up with everything that can legally be done to give some relief to the public. And I'll be the watchman over the cost if I'm sent back to Montgomery?
We've been running this commercial that, and Childersburg, for instance, it was a hot topic for months, and it's kind of quieting down. These data centers, talk about that a little bit.
We are entering a new era. The whole nation and the state of Alabama, there are dozens of these data centers and solar farms coming in, and they're not just small projects. These are huge developments that can take up hundreds, even thousands of acres. If that's done right, it can be a good thing. But there are very few jobs. The whole thing with this artificial intelligence is to eliminate human jobs, to make human work where it's not.
That's not good.
No. And we need a watchman over these data centers and solar farms to let the public know who's wanting to come into your neighborhood, what their plan is, what effect it would have on your living and your property and your family, what effect it would have on the Coosa River, and also it takes up good farmland. They could put these things in barren places, in old former dumps, useless land, but no, they want to put it next to the Coosa River.
A lot of cities in our viewing area have said no to these.
And there needs to be some coordination. I ask people this as I go over the state. With all these data centers and solar farms, and there's another type called carbon capture, with all these coming in droves, who in Montgomery is overseeing this for the public?
Good question.
Well, you got the right answer. Nobody. There is no person being the watchman over these giant intrusive developments, and I'll be such a watchman.
As a state auditor, you've never been afraid of a fight for what is right.
Well, that's correct, and unfortunately, it fell to me to file an ethics complaint, which ended up ousting the governor, Robert Bentley. And while that's on my record that I did that, it was a dark chapter in Alabama, but nevertheless, the system worked. He needed to be gotten out, and it worked.
For people who may not know that much about you, step back in time a little bit and talk about Jim Zeigler.
Well, I'm from Sylacauga. I was born in what was then called the Sylacauga Hospital. It's now the Coosa Valley. And I'm raised out in Oak Grove, which is a suburb of Sylacauga. And my father, Blois Zeigler, was the longtime mayor of Oak Grove. And in that position, he became the chairman of the East Alabama Regional Planning Commission. And that is all the mayors and councilmen and county commissioners in 11 counties of East Alabama, basically from Gadsden down to Auburn, Opelika. And I grew up under that kind of leadership. And your former mayor in Sylacauga, John Floyd, said Blois Zeigler was the best small town mayor in the United States. I can't disagree with him, and I hope that I can follow in those footsteps and be the best public service commissioner that we need.
You know, with Mother's Day coming up Sunday, I remember your mama.
Bernice.
She was a special lady.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale.
And all of the moms that are watching this morning are special ladies as well. And I don't know, you want to extend to them a wonderful Mother's Day.
Well, they are, and it's a wonderful day of the year. My mom and dad ran the Zeigler Christmas Tree Farm out in Oak Grove, and many thousands of families in this area.
They made it fun, didn't they?
They did. They sure did. And as they would go through and by their Christmas tree, my father, Lois, would witness to them about the true meaning of the season, and that is salvation through Jesus Christ. And what a wonderful witness to use the Christmas tree for as an outreach for Christ.
No doubt about it. Jim Zeigler, the Watchman, candidate for Public Service Commission. Was it place 2? Is that right?
Place 2.
And election's coming up real soon.
Tuesday, May 19th. It's about 11 days away, so it'll be here before you know it. And I hope that not only will I have people's vote on May 19th, but their voice telling people about this. This is important.
Now, I want you in the last couple of minutes to look in this camera right here and talk to the viewing audience all across the state of Alabama why they should vote Jim Zeigler, Public Service Commission Place 2 in May 19th primary.
We badly need a watchman on the Public Service Commission, somebody who will watch for what issues are going to be upcoming that are going to affect the people, and then let the people know what they're going to be facing and seek the input of the people. Right now, a lot of things in Montgomery are done below the radar screen. Now, with Jim Zeigler down there, there will be openness and things will be done in public and not behind the scenes. As the state auditor, you elected me to be a watchman for the taxpayers, and I did that. Did we win all of the taxpayer fights? No, but we won some of them, and you always knew what was going on in Montgomery. We need a watchman. We need Jim Zeigler for Public Service Commission Place 2.
Jim, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming by this morning. The best of luck to you, and you've always been a friend, and we thank you for coming by today.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale.
Got more Daybreak coming up right after this.